I'm prioritizing an animal over you.
Always, as we should
Correct.
prioritize animals over. Anyway, I digress. But welcome everyone to the much anticipated, not too long overdue because it can't be long overdue, session 1 of our Deadlands Adventure Edition.
Why am I in
The
space?
horse behind me. Why are you in space?
Oh
I mean,
shit.
it's maybe you're communing with the spirits. But joining me today are 4 amazing role players. Many of those faces you should remember and recognize from other games because they're the guys that keep coming back to play with me, and I appreciate them for it. But without further ado, I'm going to have everyone go around the table, quickly tell us who they are, the name of the character we're playing, and then we'll have a quick little introduction by myself to kind of set the scene where we'll be getting a chance to meet all of our cowboys, cow peoples, cow persons. We'll figure it out. But without further ado, let's go Atomic, Blau, Professor Hex, and Zeb. Take it away, my friends.
Hey everybody, I'm Atomic. I'll be playing Matthias Ackerson, our way out of territory ranger.
Everybody, I'm Blau. I'll be playing Roy Marshall, our runaway rich kid that's trying to keep a Mississippi between him and his dad.
I'm Professor X. I will be playing Santiago Ferron, the hard-drinking, hard-boxing priest.
What's going on? I'm Zeb. I'm going to be playing a resident ex-outlaw, Harper Briscoe.
And of course, I am Derwolf, Game Master. I'm very excited to be here, as is tradition, as always. You know, when I thought about doing this game, I was like, you know what? I don't really know much about Westerns. I like them. They're fun. They're enjoyable. They're a little crazy. But enough of me filibustering. Enough of me filibustering. We're going to open our first scene with a, as we often do, an aerial view of Lake Michigan. We are going from east to west over the beautiful, very clear water of that glorious lake. And to the southwest, off to our left-hand side, we can see the tall, kind of some of the early skyscrapers of the city of Chicago. But this bird that we are following does not fly towards Chicago. Instead, it actually flies straight ahead towards a smaller city, but still bustling, a small city by the name of Milwaukee. And as we go down into the city, we see in the town a very eclectic group of people. Some look like they are straight out of an Old West movie. Others look to be dressed in fancy suits. They appear to be trying to go and hustle and bustle around from one place to the other. And amongst all of the people that we see running around, there is a woman who sort of stands out among all others. She is stepping off of a train that has just arrived from a little bit south, actually from Chicago proper. And we see that she has blonde hair. It's pulled back into a kind of tight ponytail. It's a dirty blonde. There's a little bit of brown in it. And she's wearing a hat that seems just a little bit too snug for her head. Her face has a number of freckles on it, very thick, kind of brown-looking eyebrows, and she has a determined look on her face. She carries but one small little suitcase with her, no bigger than a carry-on that you might take on an airplane. And on her back, she has a backpack with what appears to be a Winchester rifle. On her hip, she has a 6-shooter that seems just a little bit too big for her hands. But she steps off of the platform and begins to walk towards the downtown, kind of the heart of the city. And as she does so, we watch her move her way down the main street. And then we pivot up and over to one of the many saloons, but this particular saloon is occupied by a few interesting characters. And we're going to start with Roy Marshall. Mr. Roy Marshall, you are sitting across the table from a mustachioed man. He's got a very, very thick mustache that comes down into a very spiky beard. And his goatee He's got like a little soul patch right here, and then a very longer beard. It's a very ostentatious and sort of ridiculous looking beard that he has on his face right now. And he has got a set of playing cards in his hands. And you two have been playing a very long going game of just simple blackjack. All right? So he's holding one of his cards that you're supposed to be able to see in front of him, and the other card he's holding, so he's hiding it, and then he takes it and he sets them both down, and he eyeballs you, and on top he's got a 10 of hearts. No idea what he has below, but he's got a 10 of hearts on top. And he eyeballs you, Roy. He just gives you this long, kind of drawn out eyeball. Then he says, I'll hold for now.
I don't got much of a choice later.
Well, shut up! Are you making a bet or not? You can tell he's very agitated right now, obviously. And he's been very agitated this entire time because you have been taking him for almost all he is worth. You're pretty sure he's down to his last few dollars, and you've already made about $40 off this guy in the last 30 minutes. He's not very good at gambling. What do you say?
Does he look like he can afford it?
It's a great question. Does he look like he can afford it? I'm gonna have you roll a smarts. Just roll me a smarts. I want to see if you can sort of analyze this gentleman.
No.
You know what? You're not sure. And the reason that you're not sure is that he's dressed very finely. And right now he's gone, he's just been losing hand after hand, right? But he's got a 10 of hearts. Who knows what's underneath the other card? We don't know. Do you bet or do you hold? It's up to you.
Roy's gonna bet about half of his winnings and about like $10, like a big hand.
Okay.
Not full half of it.
Okay.
But he's gonna intentionally lose.
Really? Interesting. Okay. So as you bet, hit me. They draw a card. It's a king. Boom. You bust. You're at 25. All right?
Mhm.
The man slams his fist down on the table. Ha! Got you! You slovenly slub. I got you! Ha ha! I knew it. I knew I would win. I knew I would win. You all saw it. I didn't cheat. He busted, and I won. Ha ha! You lose! Let's go again.
Draw a 10, it'll happen. And he knocks on the table and says, "So I think I'm done there, my friend."
Fair enough. I'd like to take a moment, Blau, as you're getting up from this man who has just won back $10 of the 30 he lost, and is acting like he's literally just completely cleaned out the entire gambling arena, as it were. He's just having a riot. He's like, you all saw it! I've done it! I've won! You're pretty sure this is the first time he's ever gambled. He is just a silly fool. Describe yourself to us, if you'd be so kind.
As Roy stands up from the table, he sweeps his duster back. He's got a cloth duster on. It's black. Imagine the outfit Wyatt Earp wears in Tombstone. So okay. it's a suit vest with a white shirt under it, black pinstripes with black pants, cowboy boots. He's got like a gold chain from a pocket watch hanging from his vest. As he is our guns loud in this town?
Yes.
Okay. As he sweeps his duster back, stand up, you see he has a revolver in his holster, and you can see that it's actually a Tiffany custom revolver. Ooh. But it has been beat to hell, like it's been used like a normal revolver.
Okay, so it's more like a show revolver, but you've used
it's like a show revolver, but he's used it like it's a normal revolver. So like the gold finish is wearing off, the scroll work is getting, has not like dirt caked in it, but it's coming up. It's not in good shape. And he sweeps his he's a little bit above average height. He's like 6 foot, 6'1", and pretty well built. He looks like he's pretty athletic, and he sweeps his duster back. He makes his way over to the bar.
I like that. So as you make your way, do you have control over your token? Just make sure we got all the tech stuff. You don't. Brilliant. As is tradition, we'd love to see it. Hold on. That is Roy
some stuff.
And Skadoosh. Super professional game master Twitch streamer right here. You love it. You should
Hey.
have control now. Excellent. He moves over. Perfect. Walking from downstairs, you have gotten a room for the evening, and you slept in a little bit more than you anticipated. It's early-ish morning, maybe like 10ish, maybe a little later morning. But as you are making your way down the stairs, we actually see Santiago. And I'd like to take a moment, Professor Hex, and describe this character to us, if you would, sir.
Well, Santiago is kind of a barrel-chested man. Clearly, he has spent equal time developing a beer gut and also developing the muscles necessary to box the hell out of your ears. He is bald. He's got a full beard that goes down to about the bottom of his chin. It's all salt and peppery. And he's wearing sort of what I'd say is the traditional, like, Wild West preacher kind of costume. He's got dark pants, decent boots on, white shirt. He's rolled them up so to expose his forearms, which are mad hairy. And he's got that little ribbon-esque kind of tie to complete sort of the ensemble. And of course, there is a rosary hanging from his neck.
Very good. Very, very good. I love that. As you make your way downstairs, Santiago, where are you heading?
Directly to the bar.
Love that. So you're going to settle up. Will you sit alone, or will you sit next to someone or near to someone? For example, Roy.
If I see Roy, then yeah, I will sit next to him.
I like that. All right. So you plop down next to Roy. Roy, Santiago plops down next to you. Have you two met before? Is my question. Would this be the first interaction?
I think that Roy is passing through town. He's only been here for a couple of days.
Mhm.
So if Santiago has been very active, probably. Otherwise, no.
I think maybe we've seen each other once or twice just because we've had business in town, but haven't spoken probably.
I like it. The bartender comes up. Oi, lads, what you be having?
Still just coffee from me.
Tequila.
What kind of tequila?
What kind do you have?
Oh, we have the good kind. We have the good kind.
What does it look like I normally take?
He nods. He grabs the most cloudy, old, pulled from a root cellar looking bottle of, like, noxious looking liquid, sets it in front of you, grabs a little bit bigger, like a double shot glass, sets that in front of you, and says, "Enjoy."
As this
yes.
is going on, Roy pulls his gold stopwatch from his vest pocket, looks at it, and kind of raises both his eyebrows, looking at Santiago, and says, "That's a choice."
That's a choice I am comfortable making, just in case I have no more choices to make today, if you catch my meaning.
Fair enough, sir.
I've seen you about. What's your name, my friend?
Roy Marshall. And you?
Santiago Ferron, but you, of course, you can call me Padre.
Spanish, sir?
See,
He nods.
is that a problem?
Not at all, sir. Just an interesting name. Don't see a lot of your kind out here.
No, that's partly why I'm out here, to bring some of the good word of our Lord to these, well, some of them are savages.
Good deal of them are savages. Even the ones that look like they ain't.
I'm glad you said it, not me. They don't take that kind of criticism from me very often.
He smiles and, raises the cup of coffee he got presumably brought.
Yep. Knocks one down.
Very good. And as the two of you are having your quick conversation over tequila and coffee, not mixed, tequila and coffee, a
Oh,
man
yeah.
with
That would be
a
a mix.
a man with a black beard. He looks dirty, somewhat ragged. like he's probably been traveling for a while, sweat stains in his armpits, and you would both notice, even just out of the corner of your eye, that he has a few scrapes like on his face and on his arm, and it's been bandaged poorly. You can see there's a lot of dried blood on that bandage, but he hurries in and he sits down next to this older looking white haired gentleman, who's kind of got this like golden whitish hair. And he sits down and the man raises his hand and they have a very whispered, quiet conversation between the two of them for a few moments. But entering in, Pointidaris, he's a freak. He might be. You never know. But entering in from the outside is another face that we haven't seen before. This is Matthias. Matthias, you enter in. Take a moment to describe yourself, if you'd be so kind.
So Matthias is about a good 6'1", 6'2". Definitely looks like he hasn't ate his vegetables as a kid, hasn't missed a meal. About maybe 210 pounds. Like everyone else, has a nice well-worn duster. Wearing a brown vest with a white shirt underneath, and most noticeable of all, even in the dim light of this nice little inn, tavern, whatever you have it here, is a territorial ranger badge that looks like it's seen some days, it's seen some time. He's got a heavy 5 o'clock shadow going on, and so he walks in, flicks up his hat, and is clearly come in from a long ride. He looks just exhausted, just weather beaten, and he still has his spurs on as he clinks his way over to the bar.
Clink, clinks. As you are clinking over, a man that was sitting by himself, also seemingly a bit of a priest type, but instead of the little sort of bow tie, he actually has what appears to be a true frock around his neck, but it is slightly loose. And he stumbles forward, and it almost seems intentional, Matthias. As he stumbles forward, he bumps into you, nearly collides with you. As he does so, oh, my son, please forgive me. I was on my way out, and I'm sorry I didn't see you strapping. And he does that thing that people do when they bump into people, and he kind of dusts your shoulders a little bit and pats you. He's like, I didn't break anything, did I? Nothing missing or gone or fallen out of your body, as it were. The Lord bless and keep you, as it were. Yes, quite. Yes. He is a very nervous and twitchy priest.
You're fine. You okay there, Father? You need a hand?
Oh, no. I'm quite all right. I just a bit late for a He realizes his frock is a little loose, and he kind of clicks it back into place. And,
yeah.
Oh no, I just I realized I'm late for morning prayers, and
Matthias sidesteps him and just gives him a pat on the back. Bless your heart, Father. Bless your heart.
Oh yes, and may the Lord bless and keep you as well. You safe from the terrors and the horrors of the night. Yes, you look over to where he got up from. Mm-hmm. There are 6 shot glasses neatly arranged, one after another. And the 6th one you notice is still full. But all the other 5 are drank. They're gone. And he stumbles off out the door and disappears from all of you. He does
also cannot control my token.
Well, that's just part of the session 1 is letting these things happen. So there you go.
Do you need to?
I don't think he does. I mean, I think that you're asking a lot. Personally.
I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
It's a weird West.
Milwaukee.
It's Milwaukee. It's barely America.
Milwaukee.
But you head over to the counter. And as you head over to the counter, Matthias, as you head over to the counter, I'm going to have you make a quick little check here. I'd like you to give me a little smarts here, if you don't mind. Just give us a little smarts. We're looking for a 4.
Little smarts.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
It's
Perfect.
early morning.
It's
On
early
a
morning.
D8 too.
We just
Yeah.
got off a long ride, been riding all night.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Bartender comes up. Hello there, cowboy. Look like you've been on the road, the old trail for a while, as it were. What can I get for you?
Yeah, been a hard ride all night and morning. Whiskey, bourbon if you got it, your finest.
We do. We've actually got a fine whiskey. Just came in from East Coast, from New York, actually. Give me one moment to get it off the shelf here. Ah, yes, it's called the Wolf Moon. Actually, if you want to give that a quick little look here, it's
Hashtag it.
40% volume. Straight out of, let's see here,
You know what?
Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Actually,
Well, it's not from New York, so it means it's obviously
Yes.
has some quality to
I
it.
think
but
it was transported by the New York Railway, as it were, is where it came from.
Oh, why don't you go put that back and get another one?
All right, that's fair.
Well, let's give it a shot.
All right, cool.
Pun not intended.
That'll be 25 cents.
Slap it on the table.
Yeah, you don't have your wallet. Gone. Your wallet is gone.
Oh, this motherfucker. Think you might have to kill me a priest.
Santiago will
That
look around. Matthias is close enough to say that for him to hear that.
Oh yeah,
right?
everyone hears that.
Yeah, he will just turn and kind of look and
He sees people looking at him. He goes, "I think the guy that bumped into me took my wallet."
well,
you need a witness for the marshal. I mean, no, I saw him bump into you.
senors. But there's probably a better way than just to, kill one of God's children. Yeah.
I'm not actually going to kill him, but assaulting a officer of the law ain't exactly the smartest move he can make.
That is fair.
The bartender is holding the whiskey and a shot glass, and then looks to Roy and Santiago like, someone gonna pay for this, or should I put this away?
Yeah, Royal put down a $50 and say, think you'll need it.
1 and 2 shots, slides it over to you, corks the bottle, puts it back, goes to help some other patrons.
He lifts up the glass to Roy and goes, "Much obliged. I'll get you back when I have a conversation with the father."
Problem.
Absolutely delightful. Absolutely delightful. So as you were all conversing, another gentleman, you have just finished up a private game of cards. A private game of cards, Harper, that was taking place in the back room. And though you are a former criminal, you still know the back rooms, the secret card games, and whatnot. And I'm gonna leave it to you, Harper, as a player. Did this game of poker go well for you, or did this game of poker go poorly for you?
Harper is he's an ex-criminal, so I mean he's used to backrooms poker and all that stuff. So he's not a big gambler. He doesn't play very often, so he's relatively good. So I'm going to say it went okay. I'm not bankrupt.
Did you break even?
I broke even.
You broke even. You had more fun than
Yeah,
you made actual funds, as it were. I like that.
Exactly.
That's good. So you're gonna step out. There's a few uncomfortably angry people in the back there, but none of them were directed at you. Someone accused someone else of cheating. The game of cards gets broken up by one of the bouncers who kind of handles that backroom game. And you walk out to see, well, a few interesting characters at the bar. And you walk out and you overheard this southern sounding lawman mention that he's got to kill a priest. So that's kind of where you're entering into the conversation here. Where do you go, Harper? What are you heading off to, my friend?
Harper's gonna hit the bar. He's gonna hit can't move my token, but he
all right. You don't need to.
He's probably gonna park just on the other side of Santiago.
I think you might have had your measuring stick selected. Just try again. It's probably gonna work now.
Oh, okay. Yay, look at that.
You
He's
idiot.
gonna park right here to where he can where you can see that door, and he's got
Yeah.
something to his back. He wants to be able to see everything that's going on, and
So you
he's gonna
settle
wave
in
the
next to everyone
bartender
else.
over.
Yeah, he walks over. How'd the game of cards go, friend?
You win some, you lose some, I suppose.
So poorly, then, I assume.
Yeah. Enough that they didn't take my damn boots.
That sounds like you'll be back then for another game. There's one going on here next Friday.
I just have to see my way back there. Hey, beer, please.
Absolutely. And they have one beer. Pretty good. The local beer. That's what they've got. You go get your beer.
Could you go and get it from the shelf, please?
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that invested in the roleplay.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. That's terrible. Come on, I had a bottle of whiskey right over there. I had to do it. All right, don't judge me.
No, just gotta commit to the bit, but okay.
All right. Let me just go get to here's this beer. It's actually called Weight Watchers. It's,
In your
Very
defense,
good.
I usually keep
What a
bottle of this
strange
whiskey.
mug.
Isn't it a strange mug? It's actually
Words
got
out of my mouth.
it's actually got a little measuring thing on the sides. You could say like how much you're like drinking and
You
whatnot.
you drink the beer and you watch your weight increase.
You're watching it. That's true.
It's just empty calories.
He'll bring you over a frothy beer. It's pretty good. It's not the best thing you've ever had, but it's pretty good. He'll go back to doing what he's doing. As you sit down, Harper, you're kind of in the middle of this conversation. These three have just been like briefly sort of just acquaintance-like conversation. There is a man, that man with the black beard at the back. He stands up, just pushing his chair, makes that scraping noise, bashes into the table behind him. And as he does so, he stands up and he shouts at the other man, just roars at him. What do you mean you're not gonna pay me? I lost Donnie and Frank and Michael. You son of a bitch. You said when we made it back you'd pay us. You fucking slimy son of a... And you see that he's actually goes for his sidearm. But as he goes for his sidearm, the other man pulls what appears to be a derringer and points it directly at him. And a very cold, calculating voice says, "Now, lad, I understand that you are upset. But if you draw your firearm on me, it will be the last thing that you do on this mortal plane. Now think before you act. Think before you allow your emotions to run rampant, wild and weirdly. Do we understand one another?" The man has a vein that's bulging from his forehead. His hand is hovering over his sidearm. And what you all notice as you look over at this altercation taking place is the man's gun belt, where he's got all those little bullets. 90% of them are empty. He's got 3 additional rounds. Who knows how many he's actually got in his revolver. He looks like he's been through hell and back. He is calculating. You can see him thinking. This man here, who looks a little bit Native American, he's actually slid back slightly around the corner. The man whom you were playing cards with earlier, Roy, has moved over to sit at where the priest was, and is just allowing these two men to have their altercation. Do any of you choose to get involved, or do you let this play out?
It's none of Harper's business.
It's okay. You don't have to.
Is it clear from across the room that the man with the dark beard is going to press the issue?
It is not clear that he's going to press the issue.
Okay.
It's not clear. It is at a deadlock. Derringer in hand, pointed at the man. Other man's hand hovering over his 6-shooter on his hip. The man sitting down has the upper hand, right? We
Yeah.
don't know if the other man's going to try to fast draw on him.
Roy will stand up and walk over with a kind of purpose and say, "Now, sir, if he did a job for you, you're obliged to pay him."
Without looking back at you, the man with the white, sort of like whitish blonde hair, responds to your question. That would indeed be the case. Had the man in question whom had been hired for said job actually completed said job? Did you bring back what I asked of you? Did you return with the item of interest that I had requested? No, you came back with less than you had, well, departed with. And none of what you returned with is what I had asked for, so I owe you nothing. Man, veins still bulging, eyes a little watery, like he's so angry he's crying. His hand inches just a little bit closer, where his ring finger of his right hand is just touching the ivory of the pistol. You see the man with the derringer, ever so slightly, inch his derringer forward. His finger is just twitching a little bit. He's ready to go. Say, Roy, if anything.
What exactly did he ask him to get that he couldn't find with 3 men dead?
That, my friend, that the man finally interjects. He takes his eyes off the man with the derringer and looks over at you, Roy. He asked us to get some stupid fucking rock. Something with some sort of writing on it or something. He said it was out west. What the fuck was the name of that valley? No matter. We couldn't find it. There was nothing there except those goddamn monsters. Savage monsters out west. Things the likes of which none of you'd ever seen. Nor do I hope, nor do I wish it upon you that you ever should see them. It's madness out west there. I never should have taken that job. Me, my brother, and our 2 friends were fools. But he offered us such a sum that, well, we let our greed get the best of us. But I'll get at least my sum. Their deaths won't be in vain. So you, Mr. Thompson, you're going to pay me what's coming to me. Or you can pay me a different way. And that's with your life. Mr. Thompson.
Roy puts his hands up and say, "I won't be party to this deal if he's followed the terms of his arrangement." Takes 2 steps backwards.
Man hesitates for a moment. Hesitates again. Then he watches the man with the beard. Goes to grab his pistol. Gets it about a half an inch out of its holster. There is a concussive pop pop from the derringer. Hole appears in his head. Hole appears in his throat. And he tumbles back over the table. The man with the derringer looks down at it. Pockets it. Stands up. Looks over. May the Lord bless and keep you. You poor foolish idiot. He looks back over at you, Roy. I appreciate you not getting involved. Now, obviously, the sheriff will be here momentarily, since there has been a shooting. I assume all of you will stand as witness that this was a clear demonstration of self-defense. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So Matthias will turn around and makes a deal of his, making sure his badge can be seen. He goes, "Well, in the eyes of the law, he tried to draw on you. You just happened to be a little quicker. Seems like self-defense to me."
And we have a lawman here to give his good word in my favor. I do appreciate that. I will wait patiently for the lawman to arrive. You wouldn't happen to be the marshal himself, would you, sir?
I would not.
Very well, then. And as he goes to sit back down, he actually stops And instead of sitting back down, he turns to walk over towards your group. And I'm going to put a little heart on this guy to represent that he's dead. And he walks over and he says, "Now, as the fates would have it, that is to say, the spirits, as the universe would have it, dare I say, I happen to be in need of a group, a party," and he looks back over the dead man who's got a hole in his head and his neck that is lying sprawled over one of the tables. The bartender has already run out and has called for the sheriff out the front door. But he walks over and he puts one of his legs, he like puts it up on the chair and rests his elbow on it. Looks over and goes, "I happen to be in need of a group of capable cowboys, dare I say, some CCs, as it were." Oh, I do make myself laugh, as it were, but I happen to be in need of some capable cowmen, or women, as it were. I'm not sexist like many in these parts may be, but I'm in need of someone to perform a rather dangerous, but, dare I say, should you succeed, lucrative task that will take you out into the distant west, as it were. Now, your question may be, why do not undertake such a endeavor myself? And let me tell you, candidly speaking, I am not a hardy folk. I am more of a man of numbers and land than I am a man of guns and fighting. I happened to get lucky in that moment back there. Had that man gotten the jump on me, let me tell you, I would be, well, dead as a doornail, just as he is. Allow me to introduce myself, though. I should say I am Mr. Thompson. All my friends call me Mr. Thompson. You may simply call me Mr. Thompson. And what are your fine names?
Mr.
Harper, who's
Thompson.
put another
Go ahead.
dollar on the bar.
Yeah.
I realized I didn't describe what Harper looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Harper is
Forgive me.
about 6'2". He's a
Yeah.
little bit taller, a little
Yeah.
lanky. Very Cullen Bohannon from Hell on Wheels look to him. He just sets another dollar over. As the bartender's gone, he's just gonna pour himself another beer. He's paid for it, but he's not gonna wait. And his scar is kind of wrinkling up at Mr. Thompson. He's very questioning this situation.
I like it. Go ahead. And Blowski, you had something to say.
Now, Mr. Thompson, I think you're feeding us a pack of lies here. For a man of land and numbers, you just killed a man in cold blood and aren't shaking a bit. You're very well poised and you're waiting for the law. That's not what a first-time killer does.
You know, I was right. I knew I was right when I looked at all of you, and I could tell that you were those of means and dedication when it comes to, well, some might call it nefarious things, but I myself would call it adventure, as it were. True adventure, and only a true adventurer would notice my calm demeanor. Now, don't mistake my calm demeanor for a, lack of caring, or even being unshaken. I've seen my fair share of death, and to get to where I am, I have dished out my fair share of death. But I have chosen to only act in self-defense moving forward. So, yes, I have killed. But it has been many years since I have done so in vengeance. I suppose it hasn't been too long since I've done it in self-defense. I'm sure you can understand. But I'm being clear to you, my friends. I am not the adventuring type. I prefer to hire the adventuring type, and I do declare, I do choose to pay them very well for their time and their efforts should they succeed. Key word on should they succeed, my friends. Now, I can't help but notice all of you are sitting together. Are you simply all here on happenstance? Or have you traveled together before? Do your horses ride behind one another, as it were? Now, Not a talkative bunch, I see.
Name's Ackerson, Matthias, Territorial Ranger. I just rolled into town. Just, seemed to be a nice talkative group, so I just sauntered my way on up here when I ordered a drink. But I don't know these fine or not fine fellows here. But you talk about needing a job. Now, this wouldn't happen to be the same job you sent this man and his poor dumb bastards on, would it? Some sort of tablet you're after?
I knew that the four of you looked strong and hearty, but I had no idea you were also intelligent to boot. Dare I say, you are the full package, are you not? You are the full package. Yes, sir, you are. It would indeed be the same kind of adventure that I sent this fine man on. Now, I will say, I had my doubts. About them, and my doubts were founded. And if I could take it all back, if I could choose a different band of much more hardier, sterner, and more well-traveled folk instead of him, his brother, and their two compatriots, and to God I would. But what's done is done, and I cannot take back the decisions I've made. I can only hope I make better decisions today. Now, with that being said, yes, this is in search of a and as he goes to say tablet, the doors of the inn, the tavern, the saloon open up. The sheriff steps in, and as the sheriff steps in, she is a she, actually, and she steps in and she looks around at everyone, and is actually no, he is a he. Forgive me, but it is his name is Clay Little. And he is enormous, like huge, literally a giant. But he steps in, he looks over at the body, looks over at everyone else, and he says, "All right, what in the nine hells happened here? Well, speak up, somebody."
Well, Marshal, near as I can tell, sitting here as an observer, this fine gentleman hired the deceased and his compatriots to perform a specific job. They failed to perform the job. Two of his compatriots got killed trying to do the job. Still failed. Came back, and he was almost at gunpoint trying to get payment from this gentleman for a job that he failed to do. When this gentleman told him he did not complete the job, therefore would not get paid, other man tried to draw a gun on him. He shot him first, self-defense. La-di-da, there you go. That's what I saw.
He narrows his eyes at you. Second, very good. He narrows his eyes at you, Matthias. And you would be willing to elaborate this story? Sign it? Put your name on it?
Very much so.
All right, Mr. Thompson. Come on down. Come down to the sheriff's office. I'll get your statement. Get the other statements. You all can stay here. I'll send a deputy around to get yours. Just don't leave for at least a few hours, and we'll get this matter sorted. Now, Mr. Thompson, I've talked to you about this. This is the last time, all right? Oh, friends, now please, Sheriff, it is not my fault that the type of people that you have here in this city are so, that is to say, so quick to draw their firearms. I've been saying and I've been pushing in this town for a ban on firearms, and you wouldn't have people trying to shoot others in the street. Well, it's fantastic. You can go fuck yourself, by the way, because I'm doing my best and I'm trying. And
good old
go
Patrick.
fuck yourself, Patrick.
As this conversation's going on, as the tensions on the sheriff and Mr. Thompson, Roy will lean into the bar and say, "I don't think this is the kind of man any of us want to work for. He needs a warning from the sheriff about killing men."
Yeah, I don't, I've seen my fair share of the Western Territories, and, well, the things they say about things going bump in the night, I really don't feel like tangling with them more than I have to.
Personally, I'd rather not walk around. I'd rather walk around a rattlesnake than walk over it.
But the man turns and addresses all of you. "Well, dare I say, gentlemen, it appears I have a date with the marshal. Not the type of date I would prefer, but I will be around these parts. Should you be interested in hearing more of my offer, You can find me. Just ask for Mr. Thompson. Smiles, but does this weird like kind of bow thing, and then he walks off with the sheriff, and he goes, "I know the way, Sheriff. I know the way." And the sheriff just shakes his head and looks over. Two of his deputies come in, grab the body. He turns, he tips his hat to the four of you, and as they exit out with the body onto the main street, before you guys can really get into conversation, a woman with a suitcase, small suitcase, Winchester rifle slung over her shoulder, a relatively large backpack, and a saddle in her other arm. She's like carrying a saddle. She looks small, like compared to all the stuff she's carrying, and she's sort of like struggling as she gets in, and then
Roy will immediately stand up and offer to take one of her bags.
Yep.
I've got it. It's fine. I don't need any help. Well, actually, yes, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be incredibly kind of you, sir. And she like goes to offer you the saddle, as it were. Oh, Lord have mercy. You wouldn't happen to know, sir, where I could purchase a horse in these parts, would you?
Rush into town myself.
Damn it. Well, no
Here,
bother.
the marshal rid his half to death. You want to try and buy his? He looks over his shoulder and grins at Ackerson.
Looks over. Sir, you happen to be selling a horse, sir?
First off, I'm a ranger, not a marshal. And no, I would not happen to be selling my horse. Although I do believe there's a stable in town where you could inquire as to where to buy a mighty steed.
Wait a minute. Did you say that you're a sheriff, sir? A marshal? Wait, you're a man of the law?
That's what he does.
Territorial ranger.
She drops her bag on the table. Actually, she doesn't drop it on the table. She like offers it to Roy, but before Roy can accept it, she's already dropped it, so he has to kind of catch it, right?
Yeah, Roy will take it.
And she'll just like hurry over and sit down next to him. Well, sir, I don't mean to be too forward, sir, but I am desperate need of your help, sir. You see, my father, he went missing for almost 5 months ago at this point, and the last letter I received from him was roughly 3 months ago. And well, sir, I fear the worst, and I've come to Milwaukee, sir, and I've been looking for some lawmen, but no one seems to want to help me, sir. I've been walking around all morning asking for anyone that could potentially offer assistance and help me find my father. You see, he went out west, and I mean, I'm sure you've heard the stories. Things have gone completely wild out west, and well, I fear that he is dead, and the last place that he went to, the letter it was from, and she like goes to look for her backpack, but she doesn't have it, and she looks over at Roy. Roy, did you set the backpack down or bring it with you?
He brought it over to the bar. He'll offer it to her.
Grabs it, pulls it over, opens the backpack, starts like fussing through it. She's fussing through it. She finally takes out a letter, and she pulls the letter out. It is addressed roughly 3 months ago to the day, as she had stated, and it is addressed from it's pretty far out west. It's on there's like the Sioux Nations. It's west of Nebraska, and it is an area known as Bitter Creek Valley, which is a pretty far distance from where you guys are. I mean, it's a lot of open country you'd have to cross. There's really no railways that would take you to it, and you're gonna have to cross through a lot of Indian territory, and a lot of territory that has apparently gotten pretty weird since California fell off the West Coast. Looking at you, Blau.
Yeah, no, I got that. We deserve it.
This was a good riddance. So let me get this straight. Your father goes missing how many months ago did you say he went missing?
3 months, sir.
3 months. You haven't heard a word.
No, sir.
And he's out there where all of the I do say shenanigans have been going down. and you're looking to put together a posse to go and try and find him.
Sir, I don't mean to sound like I am out of my element, sir, but isn't a posse a term for criminals?
It's interchangeable, really. Sometimes you can get a
Then
posse
yes, sir, I am
lawman.
looking to put together a posse to go and find my father and bring him home.
Well, it's not the weirdest job I've had proposed to me today. He looks at the other.
You've got one, as long as I'm not going alone.
Sounds like a good cause, and I got some, well, let's say, ranger business out in the west.
Well, I will say this, gentlemen, I am more than happy to pay you for this. I will not expect you to do this out of the kindness of your hearts.
Miss, I just have one question for you. What did you say your name was?
Oh, my apologies. And she'll take off her hat, and she will kind of like bow, curtsy. It's like an awkward. She doesn't really know what to do. And my name is Leila Curtis. I'm from Michigan, the Detroit area. My father went out west looking for gold, and well, he was always a bit of a gambler, and he gambled his life. But I have a feeling, I can't quite explain it, but I have a feeling he's not dead. He's just lost, trapped somewhere, and well, the only place I know to look is the last place I heard from him.
Well, in my experience, when it comes to the Weird West, as it was, it's just as likely to keep someone alive as it is to kill them. So your inclinations that he might still be alive are not unfounded. You'd be surprised who can live out there and make a living and get on every day.
Senorita Curtis, suppose that we undertake this job for you, and we unfortunately do not find your father. Would you then perhaps shoot each of us in the head and neck for our failure?
Eyes wide, aghast expression. Ah, God, I would never do such a thing. I mean, if you see the job through and it ends up that, God forbid, that he is dead, you still perform the job. Simply ask you to help me find him. Be him alive or dead. God willing, alive.
Santiago will turn to the others. I prefer this one.
Roy will nod along and say, seems a tad bit more honest.
Didn't realize that I was getting volunteered for this. I just met you bastards. Looks up at the clock 5 minutes ago.
No one says you got to join us.
The saloon is a clock?
Very nice.
Well, I've done weirder jobs, so hell, I'm in.
I feel duty bound as a representative of the Lord to reunite daughter and father as best as I can. So you have my my effort, whatever it is worth.
And my axe. Oh, wait a minute.
And my axe.
I hate to be the bastard at the bar, but what exactly are we looking to get paid?
I can offer you each 250 now, and another 250 when the job is done. It's all my family has. That's how much my father means to me. Is that not enough?
That's quite a fair amount of money there.
Yeah.
Roy shakes his head and says, I'll wait till job's done. Cash won't mean nothing if we don't make it back. Could mean a whole lot to you if we don't.
Fair.
All right. So paid when the job's done.
Well,
I'm stipulating my terms, not yours.
Wait, hold on.
let me make another offer. You can keep your money, but if we agree to this, let's have a conversation amongst the four of us, figure out if there's some supplies we might need, You front the money for the supplies, so get us out there, whatever. And we'll get paid the rest when we get back. At least I think that's pretty fair.
Not unfair.
Mhm.
At least this way it seems to be honest work.
Feel free, senorita, to keep my share of the payment.
Well, I wouldn't feel right not paying you for your service, Father. That seems unjust.
Would it not be more unseemly to pay a traveling priest to perform mercenary work?
She smirks at that, smiles, nods. God bless you, Father.
Only trying to protect your reputation, senorita.
He looks genuinely happy right now. Like there's a little bit of hope, a little less lost, a little less out of her element, as it were. I'm trying my hardest, Patrick. What is that?
Because he's shitting on your accent, so I'm trying on mine.
He shits on all of my accents. Where's Bri the server mod guy? He'll shit on my accents too. Like your accents are terrible, Wolf. I know. All right.
He doesn't have classical training.
I don't.
I don't either. I just try. I just wreck my throat and try as hard as I
Not
can.
all of us are professional voice actors. All right. In
Sure.
fact, none of us are, except maybe one.
Terrible troglodytes you are.
Terrible.
I just talk like people did.
I just talk like people did.
God bless his racist soul.
Oh,
Bless your heart.
that is ridiculous. Bartender's back. He's been serving you guys drinks. But yeah, you have a potential job. You have a girl that's willing to pay you. What's the battle plan at this point, gentlemen? What is the...
Matthias said he wanted to have a little meeting before he headed out, right?
Yeah,
Alright.
just so we know who we're
Kind of
dealing with. Because I mean, we
meet
met
each other.
we've met at a bar.
Yeah.
So I would
great.
like, let's just get a drink from the bartender, coffee, whatever. Let's set at a table and spend 5 minutes talking to figure out we don't know each other from fucking hole in the ground. So
Porch or a back room?
There's a back room. You're welcome to use it. So
I would if I could move my token.
Well, you know what? You don't need to move your token, Santiago. I kind of knew I needed to do that, but I was going to wait for you to say something, so I just waited.
Okay.
I've been waiting the entire time to figure it out. I've been clicking his token every so often. Like,
It'd be
is Wolf
very
gonna do it?
difficult. It'd be very difficult to do this adventure from just this bar stool.
I mean, you could. You might be able to
He
do it.
lives here now.
And this is who you are now. It's fine. But yeah, she is going to ask if one of you could look after her things. She's going to take some of her money, and she's going to go buy a horse. Going to go find a stable and buy a horse. And she will hurry off and go look for that horse.
Well, we can
We'll
read her
watch it, ma'am.
diary.
You could read her diary.
No.
That'd be very rude.
Roy will pick up the stuff and gesture for the back room.
Harper will grab
Chad?
the saddle and fall behind Roy, I guess.
Love it.
Roy will plant his back in the corner. Unfortunately, half of it's a window, but whatever.
You get shot through the window. You're dead.
Happens.
Give me a
Sniper, get down.
No, I'm the sniper. Wait, no.
It's you from the future.
minute. Oh God. Of course, Professor's is spot on. He's classically trained. He's not a troglodyte.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
No,
Take it
thank
away,
you.
Joe.
An evolved human being over there.
Yes.
Yeah, Royal, sit down on the table and settle into his chair and say, well, what are y'all good at? Are we jumped into this bit half cocked?
So Matthias is leaning back up against the wall. He's going to put a leg up on the table. Well, since it's my idea, I guess I'll start. Name's Matthias Ackerson, ranger from good old state of Texas, east of Dallas, west of a little place called Nacogdoches, a little place called Pinewood. It doesn't exist anymore because someone decided to let a bunch of miners hole up in the area. And, well, they brought a cart of nitroglycerin and somebody had the bright idea to smoke next to it. Whole town, boom, gone. I'm not going to mourn its passing. Anyway.
Who gave children explosives?
That's a great question. But I've been working with the Rangers for a while, trying to outdo my Marshallin compatriots. Just tracking some leads on some, well, let's put it this way. They say things go bump in the night and everything else out in the West. They ain't exactly wrong. They ain't just people you got to worry about out there. So,
Roy gives a surprisingly knowing nod.
was tracking some leads. They all went cold. Kind of low on money. Ended up here just kind of riding, trying to find some work. Kind of why I'm very keen on taking this whole job. I need the money to continue. That's pretty much it. Pretty quick shot. Pretty dependable in a pinch. And never leave a man behind if I can help it.
I guess I'll go next. For not to say where I came from, but back east. I fought in the Civil War, made my stripes there as a marksman. Prefer not to have a straight up fight if I can help it, but not going to shy away from it if we need to get into it. Can ride and shoot, like I said. And I can be pretty quiet if I have to be.
Well, name's Harper. Grew up down in Missouri, mostly. Worked as a gun hand for a little bit, protecting livestock, protecting railways. Good with a gun. Be damn quiet when I need to be, but I ain't scared to go loud if we gotta.
Harper, have you ever been arrested?
No.
Ever? You've never been caught?
Nope.
Cool. Then I won't have them roll to see if they can see a brand on you. Fair enough.
Nope.
Fair enough. I like it.
It's your
Father?
story, Father.
Do a whole lot other than preach the good word.
Well, I have taken some time to. I recently left my congregation to travel this country, fighting the good fight, if you will. There are creatures out here which defy explanation, reason, and it is my job to, whether they come from hell or not, send them back to it. If that includes people, then, well, God will sort them out.
Now that is a priest.
Well, doesn't seem like any of us are strangers to the trail.
So, Bitter Creek.
Everybody got a horse, I assume.
Not a horse.
Yes, sir.
I see.
Well, makes that easier. See, everybody here is pretty well equipped. I mean, obviously, besides food, drink, that sort of thing, anything anybody thinks they need for such a long trip. We'll be gone for a while. Don't know. There's a couple of small places in central Nebraska we could head on the way out to resupply. A couple of army forts with some tag-alongs and so forth.
I travel somewhat light, so a little bit of Christian charity on account of, say, a cook, a chef, would not go amiss.
Yep, such a long trip, having some good eating would definitely do us some good.
I don't exactly see this going as the Pony Express.
No, my friend.
So, I don't think we're going to need to be eating light, traveling too fast. Reason to wear out horses.
I apologize. I did not. Santiago Ferron. Just call me Padre.
Padre, got it.
Like it. Like it. Because you guys all discuss plans and you head out to gather your supplies. You walk past, there is a couple of other saloons in town, and you actually walk past one where you see Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson is in conversation with this kitty. Kidding. Is in conversation with a group of pretty, I would say, pretty hard-looking gals, as it were. And you get the impression he might be hiring them. And it's Kitty. It's being such a kitty. Look at him. Look at his little face. But as they are discussing what have you, they're talking amongst themselves. I'd like to know, would you guys try to listen in their conversation? Or would you just walk by? Any desire to overhear what's being stated, what's being said?
Honestly, not really, knowing what this guy's gotten up to and how many people he's gotten killed. Like, I hate to think what else shenanigans he's up to.
Okay.
At least personally.
I would actually.
Yeah.
This man murdered another man basically in cold blood.
I mean, it was.
For what are surely mendacious and shitty reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And the Padre is at least a little vindictive. So if he can find out something just to make this prick's life worse,
You have notice?
He will. I do, yes.
Give me a notice check.
Maybe I will.
You don't have to. It's up to you.
So what I really love is Hex's background makes it look like he's speaking into a cactus.
Yes.
This is my microphone.
Yeah, it's literally his microphone.
I will try to get in on that as well a little bit.
Roy will keep on with Matthias, and you know.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's really good. That's a really good roll. That is
wow.
It's fantastic.
It's 10. So that's double. That's right. That's a success and a raise, right? A success and a raise.
Yeah,
well, it depends on what the TN was. So was it just 4?
Just a 4. Yeah, it wasn't too hard.
Yeah, you rolled a 6, and then it rolled another, and you got a 4.
Yeah,
So
it's
so success and a raise.
Success and a raise. Yeah. So he is hiring them for the job. These 4 somewhat hard-looking ladies. And the thing that your notice check reveals to you is the destination that he's asking them to go to. And anyone that has played with me before can probably guess the name of the town that he wants them to go to and the name of the valley he wants them to explore. Bitter Creek Valley is where he wants them to go. Yeah, that makes sense, right? And stuff. That's why I said the word. But they are negotiating. And he is offering to pay them each $1,000. $1,000 for the return of what he simply calls the tablet. He's like, you'll know it when you see it. Had a group that was out that way that lost it. Just need you to find it and bring it home. Just find it and bring it home. And they're like, you want us to do this for a piece of stone? He's like, yep, it's just very important to me. An old family heirloom, as it were.
If there's time, Santiago would just peel off and go approach them.
Yeah.
And he would speak directly to Mr. Thompson.
Yeah.
And he would say, yes, Senior Thompson, the boy that you requested, does he need to be, is it all right if he is fairer skinned? I know you requested one with a tan, and well, it's so hard to get, shall we say, pliable children these days.
Mr. Thompson goes beet red, looks at the women. The women all get narrow-eyed and look at him. Then they get narrow-eyed and look at you. Mr. Thompson responds and says, Father, I'm sorry, but I believe you have me confused with someone else. Judas Goat, the cat's name is Theodore. Theodore Roosevelt Wolf. Theodore. But I'm sorry, Padre, but I did not request anything from you, my friend. Please, you
So
must
I
be
should
mistaken.
be. So you want me to dismiss the boy and instead seek out the what is it you want? The donkey? Yes.
Harper's leaned against a rail. He can't keep his cigarette in his mouth. He's just trying
He
not to
is
laugh.
he is getting visibly upset, and he says,
Fuck you.
"Sir, sir, Padre, I do not mean to be disrespectful to you, but you are treading on very thin ice. And I understand that the likes of you has likely never seen ice before, but let me tell you, when it is thin, you are in true danger of falling through and drowning. So I would ask you again, you have the wrong man. Please leave me alone while I'm conducting business with my new compatriots here."
Santiago will kind of like turn to the ladies, right,
Mhm.
and say, "Well, I can't say that a man of the Lord such as myself has ever been accused of outright falsehood before by a stranger, no less, one requesting children and animals. That's the way things are in this country, I suppose. Ladies." And he'll waltz off.
The women, as you turn to leave, they all look at him, and you hear one of them say, "You fucking piece of shit. We ain't doing shit for you." He's like, ladies, please, you must understand that I did not request. They're like, "We don't deal with the likes of you. You leave us alone, or we'll leave you dead." And they all turn and just fucking walk away from him. Done. Done. Just gone. He's out.
Santiago lights up a cigar.
Yeah. Harper's is like, God damn, man. You
That
want to kick
was-
cactuses, don't you?
Absolutely brilliant. And I just want to say that through just a good bit of role playing, Professor X just completely ruined a side plot in a good way. Well played.
Yeah.
You got me. You got me good. Yeah, that's gone. That side plot's gone. It's done. Mr. Thompson just has now been labeled as a donkey fucker in the town of Milwaukee. So he will have to find other people to come work for him at some point, and maybe he won't. It's all good. But as you all gather up your things and you prepare to head out, what specifically are you guys gathering as far as supplies before you begin the journey out west?
Let me make sure we have enough food.
Harper
Ammo
needs
we
a new
need.
saddle.
Yeah, saddle, ammo, anything we need for the horses. Everybody here's got a horse, so we're good on that.
It might be a good idea to grab something to the effect of like a stretcher, like some canvas and like two poles, and
Oh,
just in case
we need
in case we find him and he needs to be moved.
True.
I like
I
it.
mean, that's pretty easy to do. Just some sticks and some
Gonna say
canvas.
like some form of an A-frame that we can.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Roy
easy.
has a pack horse as well, so we can
Yep.
load that down a
Oh,
little
great.
bit.
Anything we need gun wise? I mean, I know I'm stocked on ammo.
Yep.
Anybody got a
Should be
Gatling
good.
gun?
I mean, I wish
A Maxim gun? Sorry.
that'd be a Gatling gun.
No, Maximus on a Gatling.
That's what I'm saying. It would be Gatling. Not
Well, I'm
Maxim.
just trying to remember which. Maxim's later, right? As a
Yeah.
Gatling first? Yeah.
Yes,
there we go.
is Gatlin
Yep.
first.
Yeah.
Look at our commitment to verisimilitude.
Look, I'm a gun guy. It's fine. I mean, okay. Other than food, this sort of thing. I mean, that's really the thing we need to stock up on, right? Pretty good.
Do we have any way to determine like if there's any specific obstacles that might be in our way between here and there that we might prepare for?
That is a phenomenal question. Yes. Yes, you do have a way to do that.
The answer is no.
The absolutely way to do that is to give a knowledge check. You could roll common knowledge, actually, if you've got it. You could roll common knowledge.
I'm bad at it though.
Yeah,
Let's
you
see.
don't know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
it's
it's not bad.
4. It's 1 success. Nothing. All right. Well, Matthias, it makes sense that you would know because you've been out that way.
Mhm.
The Dead Walk, creatures of the night that have been talked about in fables, Wendigos and Skinwalkers and other such nightmares apparently exist. But I'm going to leave it to you, Atomic. What has Matthias personally dealt with?
I mean, Blau got a pretty good score, right?
What about
No.
No.
I got
two.
what's the wild die? I don't know what the wild die
The
is.
wild
Yeah.
die is you take the highest of either the trait die or the wild die, and the
Oh.
wild die exploded. So
Oh.
Oh,
Forgive
yeah,
me.
so you got a 10.
Oh, never mind.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. So forgive me. You're
that makes
absolutely
sense.
right.
'Cause I've got veteran of the Weird West.
You're
Whatever it
absolutely
is.
right. So
Mhm.
both Roy would know a lot of shit. Matthias would know a little bit. We'll start with Matthias, and then Roy can fill in what actually is happening out there. So Matthias, I want you to frame this as though you've seen some shit, but you're kind of half wrong, and then Roy can correct you. That's the way we'll play this out.
Yeah. Well, he only knows what he's encountered. Like he's heard stories, but as
Yeah.
far as stuff, he's like, well, the dead like to walk, don't stay buried. Got these creepy skinwalker things that'll take a form of a person and then, trick you, get you close, gut you like a fish. I know I was personally dealing with some, I don't know if you'd call them werewolves, but people like creatures have been transforming under full moon.
Mhm.
Trying to deal with some of that. I haven't been to this particular area, so who knows what the hell we might have found. But let's just say if you've heard a rumor about it, it probably exists.
Best bring fire for the dead. Ghost steel for what changes shape.
Just be ready to see some shit that you've never seen before.
Ooh.
And if you've killed a man, great. Be prepared to kill a lot of other stuff.
And also that same man more than once.
Fair enough. I've had that
If
happen
need be.
twice, which is weird that it's happened, but
Not a lot, but weird that it's happened twice.
yeah.
Y'all just keep making this sound better and better, don't you?
Well, on the bright side, when you do encounter all the weird shit, you don't have to be like, oh, this is a person. I might feel bad for shooting them. You just shoot them. Just shoot it and shoot it again until it stops moving. And then you don't feel bad about it because chances are he's probably trying to kill you first.
Now, is anyone missing anything? I know you're missing your wallet there.
Yeah, I got a conversation with a priest. So if you guys got anything you want to work on, I'm pretty good. Just grab me some rations. I got all the ammo and everything I need on a horse.
I don't carry much money with me, as you might expect. I can contribute $1.75, but that is it.
Well, I
Roy
believe
smiles at him and says, "I've got you."
I believe our deal with the lady was she would fork us up some money for supplies that we needed.
Ah,
He
Unless
waived
you
his-
just
She'd
he
foot the
waived his
bill.
payment.
well, she can add my payment to the preparation budget.
Well, it seems all we need is some food, thing for a stretcher, and we don't need much. But I'm gonna go have a conversation with a priest and get my money back because I don't remember making a tithing donation.
Best of luck, my friend.
Love it.
He's gonna go and fuck that pastor all kinds up.
Love it.
Well, sounds like he deserves it.
We're gonna follow. We're gonna follow a certain Marshall, and a certain lady is walking with a relatively nice looking horse. She probably overpaid for it, but that's okay. There's a nice horse with her. Like a spotted brown kind of back as she is moving her way up towards you fine gentlemen. And she calls out to you guys, and says, well, I got this horse, and I'm ready to leave when all of you are. Marshall, why do you have, I'm sorry, not Marshall, it was Sheriff?
Ranger.
No, Ranger. That's the one.
Ranger.
Ranger, why do you have the look of a man that's about to do something maybe criminal?
Criminal? No, I call it a aggressive reclamation of property that was divested from me by a drunk man.
Harper's
It
gonna
so
start.
happens to be a priest.
Harper's gonna start putting the saddle on and just goes. He's gonna go fuck up a pastor.
Looks over at Padre. Padre?
No, he's good. It's not him.
Now, Matthias, you did want to leave tomorrow, didn't you? You just rode into town.
I mean, if I could have just a couple hours of rest before we do some more hard writing. Now, I've done my fair share of hard writing. I need just a little bit of a break, and then I'll be good to go. You don't worry about me.
don't worry yourself, Senorita Curtis. This fellow man of the cloth, if I can call him that, has stolen from Mr. Ackerson. And, well, we know that thou shalt not steal is one of the primary commandments.
Odds looks over it.
As far as I'm concerned, Miss Senor Ackerman is merely the instrument of God's judgment.
Well, if he has your blessing, it sounds like he's doing the Lord's work.
Oh,
Nope.
no, I didn't say that.
Oh,
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the priest to start doing some like Samuel L. Jackson and Pulp Fiction shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So as fate would have it, the church bells are ringing. It's about 11 o'clock, 11:30. They're having a midday mass. There's a couple people walking in. The pastor, who is wavering slightly because he's a little drunk. Lord be with you. Lord be with you. Lord be with you. Lord be with you. I'm assuming you just get into line, or do you just like barrel through and punch him in the face?
I mean, I wouldn't say barrel through him, but it definitely just goes through the line and
Yeah.
goes up to this pasture.
Lord be with you. Lord be with you. Ah, Lord be
Puts
with
an
you as
arm
well.
around him.
Ah, blessings to
Father.
you. Yes, blessings to you, son.
Yeah,
Would,
that's great. We'll see if you still want to do that here in a minute. Now, when you bumped into me in that fine saloon establishment, at the same time you happened to bump into me, it appears that my wallet has apparated from my possession. Now,
what?
I would hate to say that a man of the cloth is responsible for divesting me of my hard-earned dollars and possession.
Impossible.
That would be terrible. Now, if you could, let's say, find this wallet with utmost haste, and it had exactly $27.25 in it. Now, as a man of the law, I'm out of my jurisdiction, but if I made a report to the marshal, that would be a terrible thing, and it would look terrible for you and your congregation, who would lose faith in their oh-so-devoted man of the cloth. Now, if you could return this wallet to me with the utmost haste, like I said, it would be very convenient, and I would forget everything I ever saw.
You mean intimidation check?
Intimidation.
Who?
Intimidation.
Also, that's me, not Matthias.
What I said.
Yeah.
No, I was right. I did it.
Why did I?
No.
Why do I not have intimidation on my
What are you
list?
talking about?
Hold up.
You can't prove that, by the way, Harper. You literally can't
It's
prove
like,
that.
fuck, I guess I'm fucking this priest.
You literally
Goddamn.
can't prove that. We'll fix it in post. No, we won't.
Okay, we'll do it live.
Oh, come on.
All right. That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
The priest, whom is looking a little nervous, but he kind of slides, spinning around out from underneath your arm, looks at you and says, "My child, I can see that the devil has his horrible fangs, his claws into you. And of course, he would direct your anger and ire at you having lost your possession. But I can promise you, as the day is long, I did not take anything from you, as it would be a sin not only against God himself, but the sanctity of my congregation." A couple people have gathered around and are watching this take place.
Well, Father, considering I rode into town just this morning and you were the only person that I have had physical contact with in your very drunken stupor.
Rabble, rabble, rabble. Get away from our priest. Rabble, rabble, rabble. He's drunk just like me. I relate to him.
Now, we are on a quest to find a dear woman's father, and I need that $27.25. He just stares at him.
I really wish I had come with,
Yeah.
because I
I
would have
wish
punched
you
this
would've
man
come.
already.
You just punched him.
Yeah.
He's gonna look at you.
With a 6-shooter on his hip and a sawed-off shotgun on his leg.
He's gonna look past you, and he's gonna see the girl who is struggling to put the saddle on the horse. Harper is helping her. He's gonna look at you, and he's going to kind of like let a couple more people in. Just like, come on, my children, come. When the last person has gone inside and the doors have shut, he'll look at you. Now, I don't want any trouble, Ranger. As all of God's children, I am in a constant battle with sin.
As are we all.
And one of those sins is, and that pains me to say this, thrill of sticky fingers. As he says sticky fingers, you see that he has your wallet in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like kind of like flips it again, and the wallet's gone. And you feel your back pockets a little heavier.
Interesting.
And he looks really ashamed. And as he does that, you can see his eyes seem a little more sunken than they were before.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes a very ginger step forward. If you're going where I think you are going, beware the terrors of the dark, for they tear not only at your flesh, at your very soul. And for a moment, as you look at him, you think you see some sort of shadow-like superimposed eye over hit like just beneath like the film of his eyes. Like something else from inside him is staring at you. And you see him kind of grit. He reaches into his pocket, pulls a little flask, knocks it back again, places it back. I hope you can accept my apologies. I apologize for any inconvenience I may have caused you, sir.
Apology accepted, Father. We all have our vices and our problems we have to deal with. But right now, I gotta go help a lady find her father. Get her daddy back.
God bless you.
And you, Father.
May I say a prayer over you, son, before you leave?
By all means.
And he is going to say, raises his hands. O God, our heavenly Father, whose glory fills the whole creation, whose presence we find wherever we go, preserve those who travel, surround them with your loving care, and protect them from every danger, and bring them safely on their journey's end. Through Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
And you noticed as he said that it seemed to pain him in some ways, but he gets through it and seems a little stronger as he does so. And then he turns and he goes inside, and you hear some hymns start. You know, Jesus loves the little children, all thy children of the world. I don't know. They're just singing some church hymns. And yeah, your friends are getting ready behind, but you don't have to leave right this second. Do you guys want to rest in town for a little bit before you head out? Or are you all getting ready to saddle up and get to boogie, as it were?
We can leave early in the morning.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'll take
Just
the
have
rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, get some food and get a good night's sleep. Make sure we got all the supplies we needed,
I like
food and
that.
whatnot.
I like that. So we're getting ready kind of near the end of what I had planned for today. So I think one of our final scenes will be all of you maybe having a meal, kind of talking about the journey ahead inside of the saloon. And as you guys are talking and discussing, and you have a map, and she's like on the map pointing where thinks we need to go. You guys are discussing like different spots, sort of like this little like montage kind of thing of you guys discussing or pointing and this and that, and everyone's discussing what's going to be happening. From out the window, we actually see those 4 women, and we see them riding through town. This is like late, like after like it's gotten down, and we see a man being dragged behind one of their horses. It's Mr. Thompson being dragged through town out that way, and we actually see the sheriff like going to walk in the saloon, looks over his shoulder. Someone says to him like, "You gonna do something about that?" Sheriff looks at the man that asks him and goes, "Something about what?" And then walks into the saloon. And that's where we'll end today's session on that note. And
I feel accomplished.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I had a whole side plot with that guy, but that was fucking great. Professor X, I was like, I gotta reward him. That was good. Like, they're like, we're not gonna fucking deal with this motherfucker. Like, fuck that guy.
If somebody rubs me the wrong way, I always love to accuse them of pedophilia.
That was wild, man. That was they got rid of that guy. No. As I always say, every session. Any final thoughts, questions, comments, or concerns from the players before we get ready to kind of wrap things up today?
Oh, good to be in a new game, new system. I've played. I know everybody or most of us here have played it, but it's been a long time. 2017 for me.
The last one that I played was the original, which I actually, surprisingly enough, a guy on my RPG swap was selling it, so I got a copy of the original, which is super exciting. So
when did this version come out?
Technically, this version was like maybe 2 years ago. Like it's very recent.
Okay, so then I played the other one, I guess.
Yeah,
so
the original.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
The funny thing is, Deadlands started first, and then they adapted Savage Worlds out of that, and then made a version of Deadlands to fit that new rule set.
Yeah, I played the one where you had to draw cards for your stats.
That's the old kind.
Yeah. Okay, then I played the old one,
which is super fun. It was a really cool way to play it. But I just want to say again, any other questions, comments, or concerns, my friends?
No,
cool.
Pretty good.
Did you still want the donkey, by the way?
We talk about that after? No. But as I always said, every session, thank you so much, players, for playing. You guys have been super awesome. I'm excited to see where this adventure goes. The idea behind this adventure, as I had stated before, is going to be a mini-series. I don't plan to turn this into like a 30, 40 session long adventure. I plan to tell a pretty concise, directed story, heavily influenced, as Lights Fantastic said, by some Westerns that I've watched and I love. So you may see a lot of cliche things. The girl looking for her dad, things like that. Bad accents from non-actors like myself. But as I always say, thank you so much. Thank you to viewers for viewing. I appreciate the follow. Judas Goat Barbecue. That sounds delicious, by the way. I don't know why, but I really want barbecue right now. But be well, be safe, happy gaming, and we'll see you guys next week. Same game time, same game place for session 2 of our Deadlands adventure, The Horse Behind You. Until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you around. Cheers.